Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the live show we do every morning. Give my official picks. Marty Ice is back in the building. In case there were still some doubters out there about whether these half points matter, the Chargers game landed dead on the 3. So anyone who wound up taking 2.5 late on the Chargers lost, or on the Broncos minus 2.5 won. The total landed dead on 48. That shows you why it's so tough to beat these lines long-term at a high winning percentage. Why it shows you why line shopping is very important. Mitchell Chagas, great baseball games on today's card. Some interesting games. I'm not so sure if there's a lot that I'm seeing with value. Jansen Bonzone, James Stacy, what's up? Yesterday, of course, I gave 3 picks in MLB, 2-1, 2 very nice calls, and then I took Arizona -1. They almost came back and got it. That might have been a dumb play. Might have taken it too high, or maybe not. I thought that we would get a better start from Greinke, but still a winning day in MLB today.
What about fading the Dodgers? Is that a pick at this point now? I mean, what is it, 11 in a row now, and they've been favored in every single game?
Do they lose again?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's wow. Yes, the Dodgers, and this is like it's actually getting to it's embarrassing for 2 reasons. One, it's embarrassing for what's happening to the Dodgers. Second of all, it's personally embarrassing that I have had not the balls to pull the trigger on any of the games, fading them.
So that's 11 in a row. Not necessarily that you didn't bet, but also there was 4 before that when they played San Diego.
Yeah, no, that one I was, exactly. It's been like, I was.
So you could have had 15 games of easily getting that plus, that fat
God, yeah.
money.
And it all comes down to a matter of ball. Now, if you had told me before the start of that run, I would have said, absolutely, I should just flat bet against the Dodgers all those games. There sometimes can be value with deciding that you're going to make a certain play against or on a certain team just over a span of games, just flat betting it so that you take that sort of like game-by-game hesitation out of your decision-making process. Darryl Lyle saying, "Hey, Pete, I see you wearing the Intertops tee." I asked out loud. A little sarcastic comment there from Darryl Lyle. Can we get Darryl Lyle's a goddamn Intertops t-shirt? Is this so hard?
I don't know. I don't work for Intertops.
Not my job. It doesn't sound hard. I don't know whose job it is, but that person probably will be able to do it. We will get you an Intertops t-shirt if it's the last damn thing I do. I have 2 goals for this week. 1, handicap all the college football games completely. 2, get Darryl Lyle's like goddamn Intertops t-shirt. Jesus Christ, how fucking hard is it? Yes. Michael Maeda says, remind everyone to click that like so people can keep the show going. Thank you so much, Michael Maeda. Yes, because 1 drop in the ratings still fire me like that. All right, let's get to the picks.
For every 10 likes, we can afford a new fake mustache.
Yes.
They don't last forever, people.
So I'm going to start having more balls in college football because I think I have a pretty good read on it. My record overall so far, giving picks out publicly is profitable this year, and in my accounts it's been great. So the first one I'm going to start things off with right away, I do like the under 58.5 in Northern Illinois, Nebraska. Obviously, Nebraska has played 2 very, very high scoring games, but they're trying to establish a better defensive identity, and I think they might be able to do it here against Northern Illinois. So that's a play that I'm liking, and I bet it, and I picked it, and I'm definitely going to give it under 58.5 Northern Illinois, Nebraska. Another play that I'm thinking about, and I think I'm liking, is UAB at home against Coastal Carolina. UAB actually played Ball State pretty well last week. Coastal Carolina is the favorite here, which probably has something to do with the fact that they didn't play last week. But I think I'm a believer in UAB here, and I like them at +2 and probably on the money line as well. But I will give that one out. Slight chance that I'll take that one back by the end of the week.
No take-backs?
What?
No take-backs?
No. You just bet the other side. So if you get a better line, you might have a middle, or if you have a worse line, you might get risk taking middle. But no, you can bet the other side. Yeah, all right. No take-backs in gambling. Yeah. And what else was I looking at? The Florida-Tennessee game is very interesting. Florida rolls. I think Florida rolls in this one. I think Florida probably wins. I think Florida is probably a good bet. Anything under 7. Let's quickly talk about the WNBA. There's some interesting stuff in WNBA tonight. Minnesota and LA are the elite teams in the WNBA, and the spreads. The spreads scare me because both of the big underdogs could easily hang close. I think they probably will. Probably the underdogs are better bets than the favorites, but LA and Minnesota are both very, very capable of double-digit wins. Probably if I had to identify a best bet out of these 2 games with 4 bet sides and totals, I'd probably take a shot with the over 159 in Washington and Minnesota. Then the LA and Phoenix game is very interesting because LA, of course, is a big under-trender at home on the year. Brittany Griner is really stepping it up. She was injured, of course, part of the year, struggled a little bit, played reduced minutes, but now you know Brittany Griner, right, Marty Ice?
Not personally,
No,
but yes,
she's
familiar.
she's a beast of a human being, and I mean that in only the best ways.
In
Right?
the sexiest way.
She's a beast of a human being, and I mean that as a compliment, Brittany Griner. So I would probably lean Phoenix getting 9 points. Although again, it's just tough to bet against LA because LA is legitimately elite, and they were undervalued. They were a great bet overall on the year. Closed the regular season out with like 6 or 7 straight dominant covers, and just an excellent team. Let's go to ML. First, we'll get to the plays that I was thinking about. The most interesting, the first game that jumps out at you is Cleveland with Corey Kluber. They've won, what have they won, like 19, 20 in a row? They probably have a little bit of value with Corey Kluber at minus 400 because he is so dominant and so reliable, right? Oh, Matty Ice making a face?
I'm making a face.
Really?
I'm making a face.
You're making a face?
Minus 400? How can you put value in minus 400
because
together?
Corey, in order to have value at minus 400, all you have to do is be an 80% or greater chance of winning. Corey Kluber is so reliable, like day in and day out. Lights out. Now, obviously, he could get injured like the first inning. So Cleveland minus 1, I actually think might have some value. Then we have the next Dodgers and San Francisco game, which is Kershaw against Cueto. Kershaw, of course, as we know, went on the DL recently with back issues, and those back issues can linger. And when you're a starting pitcher like Kershaw, where as superhuman as Kershaw is, still, if his mechanics are a little bit off, all of a sudden he becomes just like this 6'9" guy who's tossing meatballs instead of sliders that are on the paint. You know what I mean?
That tall, is he?
What? Kershaw? I think he is, or 6'6", or he's really tall. No, he's not 6'9", but I think he's 6, or maybe not. What am I saying? Yeah, I think he's tall though. He's
5'7".
No, he's 6'4", something like that. I'm like a little kid who's like Clayton Kershaw. How tall is he? 8 feet. He's a superhero giant. Then the other game that is definitely interesting to me is San Diego and Minnesota. Wood is starting for San Diego, and this guy is just like this guy doesn't have it right now in the majors. He is looking like he's going to be very, very vulnerable here. Minnesota, as we know, has a lineup that is productive since recently. I'm not prepared, though, to take Minnesota in the minus 170s, so I am looking at the good old team total overs, first 5 innings and full game. I'm assuming that Minnesota is going to be 3 here or 2.5, heavily juiced to the over, and the line is 2.5 minus 143. Yeah, 2.5 minus 143. But that is a pretty strong bet. I think Minnesota team total over 2.5, first 5 innings. Oakland and Boston. Boston team total over 4.5 is a play, and the full game over 9.5 plus 118 is definitely a play. Yankees Tampa Bay being played in a Citi Field is an interesting game, but that's a pass for me. Pitt Minnesota pass. Seattle Texas, that's got to be a pass for me there. Mets and the Cubs. Jesus, that is just, the Cubs are just overvalued at home. They just are. All right, I will hold off on that one, but that is real effing tempting to take a shot with the Mets there at plus 255. That is real tempting. Selman, it's all about what you're going to get from Gasol. No, you know what? I will take it. Plus 255. It's just too high. The line is just too high. For once in my life, I'm going to have a little bit. For once in this 15-minute period of my life.
For once in your life, bet against the Dodgers.
Yeah, for once in my life, goddammit, bet against the Dodgers. Hold off on that one. I got to hold off on that one. I have to assume that if it is really a good bet, I'm going to hold off on it. You know why? Because I don't want to jinx anyone who's been riding this train and just cashing with it. Because I know if I take San Francisco here, the Dodgers will win. So that's it. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.